Hi, Jason.
Hey, Samantha Tuozzolo.
Thank you. I love you.
I love you too. I mean, we're back here again at our wonderful podcast, Survival Jobs, a podcast in collaboration with BroadwayWorld. But again, we're having to start in a very somber and we're being trying to be respectful as possible because of what's going on in our country. Again, with the shooting that happened
Horrible.
in Texas. Um,
I just can't believe that 2 weeks in a row that we have to talk about
Wasn't it
horrible things
three?
happening in
Wasn't
it.
it three? I feel like it was before that.
Probably.
It was the whole Roe versus Wade thing, and it's just like
Yeah, 3 weeks in a row.
um yeah, I know, we talked about it really briefly before we hit record because we want to make sure that we're being sensitive, but and you can say it that you have stuff, we all have stuff going on in our personal lives
Yeah,
as
I
well.
I don't know. I'm just at such a place where I'm not ignoring things and I'm not paying attention or understanding we have a problem, but like my personal life the past month and a half has been so in shambles and shocking that for me right now, for my mental health, I can't
Mhm.
think too much about all of the horrible events taking place. I'm acknowledging, and by the way, like, I don't know if people are like, that's so wrong, like you need to pay attention. I am paying attention and I do the work and I volunteer and donate and speak when I can, and I'm in a good place too. But right now, Samantha is not in a mental place, a good mental headspace
Mhm.
to comment, engage, think too much about. I will sob right now, like 18 children are dead. Like what, like I can't mentally go there today. Do you know what
Mhm.
I mean? Like I want to have a moment of silence for everybody suffering in the world, for
Yeah.
everybody who's lost somebody, whether it was this, whether it was the week before, whether it was the week before that. Like so much horribleness is not a word. Horribleness is not a word, but that's just
Mhm.
is going on.
Yeah.
And I, by the way, I don't think there's like a right or wrong way to like navigate or handle these things. Like in a few weeks when I'm healed or in a better healing spot from what's going on in my personal life, then maybe I can have a clearer headspace to speak.
Yeah.
But today I can't. And so I'm going to just pass it to you and I will.
Well, I just um when I heard the news yesterday, it kind of was like in the middle of doing, think like living, and it's like kind of hard to take that in. So like, was I didn't want to watch the news right away. I didn't want to have to, watch the speeches and everything because it's just so upsetting. It's like every day. It's just this country is a mess. We're it's in the gutter, honestly. And I know that might be controversial to say, but honestly, like I don't care because it's the truth. You know, the last few, like we said, the last few episodes, we had to start this off by saying how we're thinking of people and how we have to be very respectful and obviously, but like this is nonstop. It's just nonstop kind of garbage and fuckery. And, you know, every American should be ashamed that this keeps happening. No matter what side of the aisle you're on, you should be ashamed that 19 people got murdered in a school at the end of the school year. Like it's ho- it's just horrible, and Republicans can claim that they're not or claim that they're pro-life or they're the party of American values, but you can't vote for people who are beholden to the NRA, you guys. And that's like you have to research. Like, I can't go into all the money that the NRA puts into the pockets of these Republican senators and congressmen because that's not what our podcast is about. But like, I implore people to do their research on what's going on in this country. You can't say you're pro-life when our kids and our loved ones can't go to a school or to the grocery store or to the church or to the movies or anywhere without the risk of being gunned down by some nut job with a military grade weapon. Like, why do we have military grade weapons, you guys? Like, you should not be able to kill 15 people in 10 seconds. Like, that makes no sense to me, that we live in a country that's supposed to be land of the free where that can happen. So I don't know. I can go on and on about the abortions, how they want to ban abortion, they want to ban the word gay, they want to ban masks, they want to ban talking about white supremacy and the history of this country with Black and Indigenous people and brown people, but they don't want to do anything about guns. And that's like the saddest, most stupidest, ridiculous thing. And I don't know. I know we don't want to talk about it too much, but
I mean, I think there's a fine line with being like, I don't want to talk about this, right? Which is where I am, which is just me personally. But then how do you not? You were listing all the places
yeah.
you can't go, the movies, the church,
It's a
schools.
subway. You live in New
That
York, and
is
the
what I was going to
subway.
say next.
Like,
The subway. I haven't been riding the subway too much. I don't really have to in my day to day. I primarily stay in my neighborhood. I work from home. But this weekend, I need to ride the subway a lot, actually. And I need to go to Brooklyn. And I cannot take $80 cabs to Brooklyn. And I shouldn't have, I've lived in New York for 11 years of my life. All of my
mhm.
adult life, I am a New Yorker. I shouldn't have this overwhelming fear to swipe a Metro card and go on the subway. But
Nobody
I
should.
do.
We can't say this is the land of the free, and we're scared to go outside. Like, that doesn't make any sense. And this doesn't happen in other developed, I hate saying that word, but like other first world countries. Like, this shit doesn't happen. It's only happening here. It's a North American, United States of American problem. It doesn't happen in Canada. So it's insane. And I was like, we got to do this podcast, and I had something to say. I didn't even want to do it. Like, I was just like crying
I
this
know.
morning, and I told you, like, I didn't want to do it, but we have to, because we love this podcast. And so I was
And the
like, I had
show
to do
must go
something.
on.
The show, I hate that saying, but
I
yeah, show
know,
must go
but
on.
it must. Like,
um,
that's exactly what we're doing, though. Like,
yeah,
we're not
yeah.
gonna just,
But
there.
I had to do some kind of action. So I was like, okay, Googling, what can we do? Like, this happens, right? It's over 200 mass shootings happened this year so far. It's only May. So what can we do? So I was looking up stuff. I was supposed to be working, but I spent the first hour of my work day looking up stuff to do, right? I'm like, I have to do something. And I found this website, which is www.nwyc.com, which is National Right Your Congressman. And I know that we all have busy lives, and we're all doing stuff, but I'm just asking, if you listen to this podcast, if you would take 5 minutes this week, and if you are on, and I'm going to say it, the right side of history, that you want this shit to stop, just take 5 minutes to go to this website and write this letter. They have like little prompts that you can use. They help you find your congressman. You can write to the president. Like, it's very easy to, and very what is the word I'm looking for? Like, they guide you to how to write an email to your congressman, and just demand action and take the 5 minutes. I looked at it today. It helps you fill stuff in. It tells you who your people are, so you don't have to do so much work. And that's all I can really say. I mean, shit sucks. But as you said, the show must go on. We have to keep positive. We have to keep fighting. We have to keep demanding accountability from our leaders. And we have to, I don't know if it's going to happen in our generation, Samantha, but I'm hoping the next one, things will be better.
Thank you for doing that research, and we'll drop the link in the show notes so everyone can
Yeah.
go click on that
And I'm going to find more too. Yeah. Sorry.
yeah. And thank you for taking lead on that convo, because again, that's just where I am. And I
Yeah, but I
couldn't
mean,
take lead. And I
no,
appreciate you.
yeah, no problem. I appreciate you. I just, like, I can't just sit here and like rant
Well,
about the same thing again.
no, but also we can't come onto our show and just talk about fun art when this just happened yesterday, because today we're recording, it's Wednesday, this is coming out on Thursday, this shooting happened on
Yeah.
Tuesday. We can't just come onto this show, this platform that we have, and just talk about Take Me Out, which I'm going to talk about in a minute.
Hmm.
But we can't do that, because that is crazy. We can't just ignore. And I guess
Yeah.
that's me contradicting what I said in the beginning, because I'm not ignoring what's going on. I just can't go totally I can't sit in it 100%
Yeah,
just yet.
because we
You know
all
what I
have
mean?
lives. Everyone has a life. Everyone has stuff happening in their lives as well. So I totally get it. Um, I
I
just wanted
mean,
to
and
just ask people that, take that
yeah,
5 minutes out.
take some action. I mean, to your point, I was in the theater last night and I was sitting in a completely sold out theater at second stage. What the heck is the theater called? Very
Second,
small theater.
yeah,
It's a
I'm.
small theater. I can't get out of the row. You have to get out of the row to let the other person in. Also, I had massive anxiety because the
Mhm,
shooting happened yesterday. I'm at the show Take Me Out, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. And
mhm,
because of the leak of the nature of the show, a video was leaked, there's nudity. Now you have to put your phone into a pouch that they lock. Like I can't
mhm.
even unlock the pouch, which is
Yeah.
respectful for the actors, and people have violated their right to have their phone out. Uh, but I was sitting there like, oh my God, if a crazy shooting happens in this theater, I can't even get out my phone to like
Mhm.
text my mom that I'm okay.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Oh, Samantha, I'm seeing Take Me Out on Friday, so maybe we could talk about it. Well, I don't want to
next
ruin it for
week.
people who, yeah, I don't want to give spoilers, obviously, but
No
it'd be kind of
spoilers.
cool to talk about it together when I see it on Friday.
Okay. So we'll hold up on that combo
Yeah.
until next mic check when we both can talk about it. But
Yeah.
just know your phone is in a completely locked pouch. Completely. You cannot
Yeah.
unlock that shit. It was crazy. This machine they had, it's crazy. I'm like, what
Yeah,
year
we
is
used it
it?
at Highline one time, I remember, for some event.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's an outside company. Highline couldn't afford that, but outside company came. It was like a private event for someone had performed. I forgot who it was, but yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to see it though, and we need art, right? We need art. We need culture. We need we need it. So I'm happy that Broadway's back. I'm fortunate to be able to see a show, and it is scary. I'm going to New York this weekend 'cause I live in Connecticut right now because of the pandemic. But going to New York, it's like you feel weird. I don't want to like buy into like, oh, New York is so terrible now, because it's not, right? But it's still like just the state of our country is a mess in general, and we gotta do something. Something has to change, right?
Yeah, that's for sure. Apologies on the sirens as usual. I tried to stay muted for as long as possible, but that's
Yeah.
just that's just New York for you.
Well,
So, should we talk? Should we take a turn and get back into our show? I know you hate the show must go on, but the show must go on, and we have to
yeah.
lean into the things that make us feel good when things are so shitty. Um, so we had the great opportunity to talk
Hmm.
to, by the way, our first dancer to be a guest
Yeah.
on Survival Jobs, Xiao, who is
Yes.
now currently a stunning ballerina and Phantom of the Opera on Broadway.
Yeah. And I loved talking to her because she was just so sweet, and she had such an interesting point of view, and she was so engaging, and it was like really cool to see like what that's like being a featured dancer in a Broadway show.
Yeah, and her journey to New York and
Hmm.
and her process, and she was just so lovely to chat with and
She was.
inspiring and so positive, and you could tell like Xiao just loves what she does,
Yeah.
and the passion was just like beaming through the
I
screen. So
know her energy. You can feel
yeah,
her energy. I love that.
yeah,
That's
yeah,
the best.
it is the
Literally.
best for
Uh,
sure.
okay, so I'm gonna read her bio. Sorry, I have to look
Yeah,
away
why
from the
don't
camera for a second.
you why don't you take it
But
off?
yeah, so Xiao was born in China and began her professional ballet training at the age of 10 at the Gungchao Art School. After graduating at age 16, she joined the Gungchao Ballet in 2005 and became a soloist in 2011. In 2012, she was invited by Mark Roxy to join the Roxy Ballet, and she moved to New York.
2 years later, she joined the Susan Farrell Ballet based at the Kennedy Center in Washington, D.C. In 2018, she joined the Metropolitan Opera Ballet at the Lincoln Center for the Performing Arts in New York City. In 2019, she made her Broadway debut with The Phantom of the Opera. She is a dancewear designer as well and launched her leotard product called Xiaoxiao Designs in 2015. I
That's
just
so
want to do
cool.
yeah. I mean, come on. Like, she's been professionally dancing pretty much her whole life. And then it was like, I'll just also do a dancewear design because, also, by the way, like, dancers should be making clothes for dancers because you know it's comfortable, you know it feels good, you know it makes you feel confident. So I think that's beautiful. I would like to just tell a really quick story before we go to the interview. So we talk about this with Xiao, but my niece is in ballet, and I was having dinner with her. Sorry, there's my survival job. My niece is in ballet, and I was having dinner with her this past weekend. Her dance show is coming up in a few weeks, and we were talking about something. One of the teachers performed her solo, and I said, Lena, did Lily perform her solo? And she's like, yep, she did a solo. She's like, I don't even know what that means, but she did it.
That's so
And you said
cute.
in the bio, you said something like she was a soloist, and I thought that was a cute story to share. So should we
Yeah.
let everyone listen to Xiao?
Yeah, let's do it. And yeah, thank
Enjoy, you
y'all.
guys.
Enjoy it.
Thank you for listening as always. Hi, Xiao. Welcome to Survival Jobs, a podcast. We're so happy you're joining us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Yeah, we're so excited. I think, and Jason, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you're our first dancer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah, primarily a
Like
dancer. That's
like
amazing.
our first like professional dancer. So we're so excited. So
Thank
you're a
you.
first. This
Yay.
is
Xiaoxiao,
The first one.
maybe you can teach us something through the Zoom, like a quick like
yeah, of course, like a ballet movement.
Yeah. Some arabesque.
Yes.
See, my niece is in ballet, and so she's 4, and so like the thing she talks about all the time is an arabesque because it's just it's not crazy at all.
Yeah. It's a beautiful pose and the movements and the very common, very ballet.
I love that.
Yeah, very ballet.
Yeah.
So this podcast is called Survival Jobs, a podcast. So we just want to jump right in and get going. So
yeah.
I think I have the first one, right?
Yeah, go ahead, Jay. Take it away.
Yeah. Can you share a story or experience from a survival job that's positively impacted your career, like where you are now?
Now I'm in New York, and I work with the Phantom of the Opera on Broadway.
Yeah.
And I actually came from a very classical background. I started ballet since I was 3 years old. My parents sent me to a local school in my hometown, Changsha, in China. And then I left home at 10 and joined the professional ballet school in Guangzhou. And then I studied 6 years there, and I graduated and I joined Guangzhou Ballet right away when I was 16. And then I danced there for 6 years. And at the same time, because they have a program collaborate with university in Xinhai. So I kind of studied, and at the same time I was dancing.
So you've been pretty much professional since you were a teenager.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know.
That's amazing.
Ballet, you wanted to be on stage as early as possible, and you want to have longer career on stage. So yeah.
That makes total sense.
So you really never had to do the like typical survival job that artists, have to go through before they get their like big break. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think I'm considered a lucky one because a lot of because once I graduated from my ballet school, I joined a professional company right away. Because a lot of other dancers, they might have to take a little bit to auditions. Like for example, my class, we have 30 dancers. And then I think when we graduated, we had like 10 dancers join the professional companies. But because the early years when you just join a company, there are a lot of pressures and a lot of difference, between professional dancers and the students, and a lot of people can't really keep it going. So after 2
Yeah.
years, I was the only one dance on stage.
Wow.
Wow.
Congratulations. And that's not
Thank you,
luck.
thank you,
That's hard work and talent, clearly.
thank you. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just, yeah, the early age when you join the company was definitely not easy, especially in ballet companies. There are a lot of competitions. I mean, also you just have to have a lot of strength to face all the difficulties.
Yeah, I'm
Wow, I
sure.
can't even imagine. That's incredible. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So since you don't really have any survival jobs to talk about, I know you talked a little bit just now about your training, but could you go into a little bit more detail about your training and what that experience was like in a little bit more detail?
How many hours per day?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when I was a young age, obviously we have like 6 to 8 hours
Yeah,
per
that's a lot.
day for all different kinds of dance, not just ballet. We have other modern dance and the partnering, and actually, sorry for jumping.
No, no.
Talk about the survive jobs. When I came to New York, I actually joined the company, but it's so different with when I dance in China, because
I can imagine.
here when we were dancing in China, those companies are like we have more longer weeks, and then we have less vacation time, and then we always get paid during vacation. But then in the US, most of the companies, you don't get paid
Yeah.
during the vacations. So
Welcome to the US.
then that's the time I actually have to find things to do. But well, when I just came here, because I was holding the O1 visa, artist visa, so I cannot really do anything. That's not allowed to do anything besides my ballet company. But
Yeah.
at that time, I went to study at FIT for summer courses, and I tried to fill in myself. And then when I got my green card, I can do more things during the
Yeah.
off time. And then I started my dancewear company, and that's one of survival jobs for me as a dancer when I have off time, and it's also my passion,
Yes.
helping my dance career to like financially, and also that's a thing I love to do. Yeah.
For sure.
Wait, so you create dance clothing?
Yes, I do. And actually, I don't make each one of them. I design them, and I make samples, and I wear them to ballet classes.
That's
And
amazing.
I try them out, and if they're comfortable to dance, and they're workable, and because I love a lot of lace and different kinds of materials. And then I'll see other dancers' reaction if they think I look beautiful, and they'll say, okay, that would be a good sell. So then
Yeah.
after I decide which one I want to sell, I send to the factory, and then they make multiple of them, and then send back to me, and I just sell them on my website.
That's
Yes,
incredible.
business owner.
Yes. And isn't that, I love when we hear stories like this, when you can take your craft and your art and then turn it into like sort of like right now I'm thinking like a family tree. Like you have what you love, right? And then the branches come off of like what else you can do with your talent and your passion to just keep expanding it and just keep like life going instead of being just contained in the one thing.
Yes,
so that's amazing. Congratulations. We'll definitely have to drop your website in the show notes so people can purchase.
Yes.
The dancers listening can go purchase, some dance clothing. That's incredible.
Yeah.
Congrats on that. Amazing.
So you said you were dancing since you were a kid. Do you remember like a certain age you were like, I think I can do this professionally. I think I'm pretty good. Do you remember what age that was?
Well, I never doubt myself cannot be a professional dancer somehow. I don't know why. It's when I was 3, I already think in the future I'm gonna be a professional dancer. I don't know. I might think differently with people. I just like have one path. I just go
Yeah, you
towards
just
there.
knew
I
what you
never.
loved.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Wow. I love
That's
that. You were like so
yeah.
driven from 3 years old. That's amazing.
That is pretty amazing. So do you so you came from China to New York to dance and do what you love. Can you talk a little bit about what that was like and the transition coming to New York City and just your experience with that?
Yes. I actually always loved New York City when I was in China because actually when I was dancing in Guangzhou Ballet, we traveled to different cities in the U.S. and Canada, and I always loved to visit, and perform at different places. But I've never been to New York, and I watched a lot of, movies and TV series about New York, and I always wanted to be here. And the
Yeah.
first time I traveled to here was to audition some ballet companies, and I was just so like excited to be here, and I felt home right away. And somehow, I it just feel like, oh, every day you're living in a dream. You're living in a like a movie. So and then I remember after all the auditions, and I took a cab back to the airport and then flying back to China. And on the way back, and I saw Brooklyn Bridge, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, I love here so much. I have to be back." So
It's like
and then
romantic in a way. It's like, oh my God, I love this place, right?
yeah, it just feels so magical to me. And then after a couple of weeks, I got an offer, and then I started to planned all my visa and stuff, and then packed everything and moved to New York.
Wow.
And then it was definitely different, life different with before, because just a lot of things, in New York, no one would laugh about your dreams, and then you just have it. You just see so many possibilities, and you see people are so creative, so inspiring, and the people from all over the world, they all have dreams, they all have their passions. You just get so touched and so like happy to be around all those people. And
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I
love what
love
you
that.
just said, that
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
in New York, nobody's gonna laugh at your dreams, right?
Yes.
Because everybody is a dreamer. What's Alicia Keys say? Concrete jungle where dreams are made on or of, whatever. But you guys know
Yes.
what I mean.
Yes,
And
and
it,
I would never like afraid to be like a unique or different, because you know they appreciate this, and they appreciate your being yourself. They appreciate your being unique, and if you want to, not if you are crazy and there's someone always crazier than you, and that's fine. And
it
if
is
you,
true. There's
yeah, and
someone always crazier in this
yeah,
city.
yeah. So I love that, and then nobody gonna judge you, and then maybe a lot of people would admire that. And also, I learned that not to limit it yourself, because when um, when I was younger, I thought my only way is ballet, and that's what I taught to focus on it, which is great because I really built my foundation, my ballet foundation at that time. But then I came to New York, I saw more possibilities, and I've never thought about I would dance and sing on a Broadway stage. And
Yeah.
I watched the show. I was like, oh, there are ballerinas in there. And I always thought, okay, I might need to get like a college, like a voice degree of it. But then
Yeah.
later, once I got involved with the auditions, and I saw people around me, they've been auditioned, and some friends made to Broadway stage from modern company firm. And I was like, oh my gosh, like they can do it, I can do it too. I just need to try. I just need to step into it, and
Hmm.
yeah, there's
Take
nothing
a
to
leap.
lose. Yeah, and it's fun, like always good to try. Life's short, try everything. So that's a thing I definitely found what that's New York gave to me. Yeah, it's not to limit it yourself and dare to dream. And
that you can do anything you put your mind to.
yes.
Wow.
That's so
That's so
beautiful.
inspiring. Yeah,
Thank
for
you.
sure.
Congratulations on all of
Thanks.
it. Incredible.
So you've danced with the Susan Farrell Ballet, and you've danced
Yes.
with the Met, and now you're currently on Broadway.
Yeah.
Can you talk about the difference? I know I always call it Broadway because
I love when
Yeah.
Jason puts his inflection.
But can you talk about like the big difference between those two? 'Cause I feel like even though they're both like very artistic, they're so different. Or maybe just to me, I don't know. You tell me.
Yeah, it is different. Ballet world is so different with Broadway and musical theater world.
Mhm.
Also the company is different because in ballet well, for me now I feel like the Phantom of the Opera company is like more like a family, and everyone's more chill because we all stay in one track. Maybe we do understudy other roles, but we see each other every day. We're more like together, united as a family. But when I dance with the Suzanne Farrell Ballet, that's a typical ballet company, and usually in ballet companies we have we do all different kinds of repertories, and of course then that's like competition every time a cast come out.
Oh, yeah.
Every class or rehearsals you just have to be always there, like because that's just kind of audition for
Yes, it's the
different roles,
competition
and
all the
yeah,
time.
so that's
Wow.
like that you don't feel like as a family, you're like being more competitive there. But it's art, it's different
Yeah.
types, like you cannot say which one's better, which one, it's just
Yeah.
different. Yeah.
So Black Swan is real. No, I'm kidding.
Oh my god. Kinda.
Not as dramatic, but
Yeah.
competition is there.
But like the idea of it.
Yeah,
Wow.
I love that.
So speaking of Broadway, how does it feel to be a part of the Broadway community? I know you just gave a little bit of insight to that about being part of a family, etc. But if you could go into a little bit more detail. And Phantom of the Opera is the longest running show on Broadway. So what's that like too?
So first of all, I've never thought about I would be on Broadway until I made it. And actually I'm still quite new to this industry compared with a lot of people. Since they were a teenager, they start to audition and doing musicals, and I'm still a new transition from ballet to musical theater to Broadway. And the industry, I think, just very like love to help each other. Yeah, and I think especially our company, like we will help each other. If dancers could help a singer for dance movements, and the singers can help dancers for vocals.
I love
And
that.
and we will always have fun things to share. And that's pretty. Do you have like specific questions? Because if it's
just
a huge
that was awesome.
question,
it was very like open-ended. I actually do have another question about that. Were you a part of the company before the shutdown?
Yes, I literally just joined the company for a year, and then it shut down.
Whoa.
So
so what was that like, if you don't mind going into that a little bit?
When I joined the company for like about 13 months, and then it shut down for 18 months, and literally my off time was like longer than the time I joined.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, like that was just such a shock, because at the beginning when I remember that was March 20th, and it's a Thursday, and I think that day we are the only show doing a matinee show. So most of the people,
Wow.
they're at home and got this news, and we were literally in the show and got this news. And I remember at the backstage we heard the manager was announcing, okay, after this show we're gonna have a meeting. So we were like, oh my gosh,
Wow.
it sounds very serious. But at that
Yeah.
time, not so many cases in New York yet, right? And
Mm-mm.
then after the show, we had a meeting on stage and saying, oh, we might have to shut down for 4 weeks. So everyone pack your your belongings, and at the beginning I was like, oh, good, 4 weeks I can just like
Yeah,
relax a
like
little
have a
bit
little
at home.
break.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then later it just keep extending from end of the year to another like couple months to another couple months. So during the time at home, of course I was sad, because that's the dream stage I just enjoyed for a year, and then this happened. But I try to keep myself positive, and because it's happened, and nothing, I have to accept the reality. So just try to make the best of it. So I keep training at home, even though the apartment is small, and
Yeah.
keep practicing singing and my dance, and learn more things, and focus a little more on my dancewear designs, and yeah, to try to have the best shape to ready to go back on stage.
I love that.
Thank you.
I do. I asked one question, and then I like have little baby questions coming out of
Mhm.
it. But
Yeah.
since we're talking about that, can you talk about what it was like the first show back? So you were off for 18 months off, but like we were in this shutdown for 18 months with no idea what was going to happen. Like, would you
Mhm.
ever come back? Like, my friend and I had a moment where we were like, are we going to have to tell our kids? Like, there used to be this thing called Broadway,
Mhm.
because it was so much unknown and so scary.
Yeah.
So what was that first night back? You guys, didn't Andrew Lloyd Webber fully like DJ outside?
Yes, yes. And
Yeah.
we were like dancing on the
Yeah.
second floor of the balcony. Yeah,
Yeah.
that
So what was that night like?
yeah, it was like a so magical. Like
Mm-hmm.
it still feel like a dream, because we kind of like prepared for it, because we had a month rehearsals before opening, and we
Mm.
kind of knew it's gonna be big. And also I was kind of like happy that we had a little shutdown, and then we came back. It feels like, oh, we are rejoining the show, and we can feel the process again from the studio. Because when we first time join, we don't, it's like jumping onto a running train. Like the new
Mm.
people rehearse like separately to join the show, but then because the pandemic, everyone go
Yeah.
back to studio rehearsing together from the beginning. It feels like we're doing a new show. And then it's
Yeah.
just hard, it feels a little weird, or also like hard to imagine. This show has been running for 34 years, and then you are a part of a beginning again. So
Oh wow. I just got chills thinking of that.
yeah, thank you. Yeah, because it's such a iconic and a classic show. And then
Mm-hmm.
before the opening night, of course I was nervous, and I yeah, but I know that it's gonna be like amazing. And I
Yeah.
remember when we were before the curtain open, not really curtain, like
Yeah.
when they announce the show started and blah blah blah, and we were at the backstage, because I was in the auction scene, which is the first scene. So
Okay.
when the lights got dark, and then when we start to walk on stage, not
Yeah.
lights on yet, and the first line is the auction said sold, and then all the audience start to clap and scream, and I was like, oh my god, I try to hold my tears on stage.
Yeah.
Because
I'm gonna not hold my tears right now. I love
it was just wow, you know. I feel language is just hard to explain, you know, my feeling at that time. It was chills and
Yeah, no, I feel that. I got a little tear coming out too.
Yeah, same. We've had a couple of guests on who were in like the first show back, or sort of like just like what you just said, like this show's been running for 34 years, but then to be a part of the beginning of this again, that's so cool.
Yeah,
cool is such a silly word to describe it, but it's so cool.
Yeah, it's like wow, this is a show. I'm running the tech rehearsal now, I'm doing the dress rehearsal now, I'm doing all those like lighting design now. It just wow, okay.
Yeah,
so you know, it's at one side you're not lucky because you got shut down for 18 months, but then another side you're kind of lucky because you're involved at the reopening. So
yeah, that's so amazing.
Yeah.
Do you still like pinch yourself? Like, do you still like? I feel like if I was on Broadway, and I was on Broadway for like on and off for a couple years, right? I would still be pinching myself every day. Like, this is such a dream. Does it still feel like that to you, or are you kind of like, okay, this is a job now?
No, I always feel like it's such a great thing to do, even though, you know, 8 shows per week is quite hard, and you always have that day was like, oh my god, I'm so tired, I don't want to go on there. Like, they're normal.
As the dancing in Phantom is intense, so I can imagine doing that 8 times a week.
Especially
and also,
the floor is not really for ballet, you know, because it's hard steel floor. Like usually in ballet, stages are like wood and more bouncy.
Yeah.
Sorry, I have a little.
But it's okay.
Yeah. And also we wear like a rubber pointe shoes, so it's not because we don't use Molly floor. Anyways, but I still feel like, you know, I wanted to have my best moment on stage because, you know, first of all, that pandemic, when pandemic happened, no one knows. So you never know what's going to happen tomorrow. You just have to enjoy every show. And also as an Asian, you know, like not so many Asians on Broadway stage, and I always want to inspire people. I remember one time before the pandemic, we are still allowed to, you know, sign programs and this to all the audience, to, you know, if the audience wanted. Yes.
Yeah.
And I remember a friend took, you know, some of girls backstage to just showing around, and then she asked me to sign my name, and I signed my Chinese name. And she's like, because she's Chinese American, she's like, oh my gosh, this is so cool, I have to show my mom. You know, like it just like feel like, you know, all those little girls there, they probably wanted to be on this kind of stage, and then if they see someone there and they're like, oh, she can do it, I can do it too, and I want to be that people can inspire them. And also I often got on Instagrams and all different social media platforms, and some audience, they would, you know, message me like, oh my gosh, I come from China, I saw you on stage of my favorite show, Phantom of the Opera, and it just feels so great, so proud, you know, like, you know, there's someone like we're familiar with, you know, on stage. Yeah,
representation is so important.
Yeah.
Like you could be that one factor to a young girl in the audience who's like, oh, she looks like me, I can do this, right? And just change your whole life just from that one moment, and just from you being brave enough to like continue to pursue your dreams and come from another country and like do the thing. So that was so beautiful.
That's cool.
Thank you.
And keeping on that train of thought, do you have any advice for like young girls, especially girls of Asian descent, who may want to pursue this career? Because we need more, right? We need more representation out there.
100%.
Yes,
Yeah.
I just think that don't limit it yourself and don't give up. If you have this dream, if this is your goal, then just keep doing it. Of course, maybe it's not going to be that easy. Nothing is that easy, and you just
Yeah.
have to keep trying and keep doing it and keep your passions, follow your
So true.
dreams.
Mm-hmm. You have to. I always tell people
Yeah.
that too. Like I might talk to like high schools or whatever. I'm like, if freaking like I don't know Viola Davis and Will
Ugh,
Smith and whoever you name, like if they can make it, so can you. Like
Yeah,
you just
yeah,
have to keep
yeah,
going and
yeah,
keep
yeah,
going and
yeah.
don't take
Like,
no for an
yeah,
answer.
yeah. Nothing is impossible. It's everything is possible. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I just have to believe
wow.
yourself. Yeah.
I love that.
That's so nice.
Yeah.
I know that's so
Samantha's in love with
nice.
you.
I am. You're just spitting wisdom and inspiration today, and
Thank you.
we say this a lot on the podcast. Jason and I are
Mm-hmm.
suckers for like some inspiration, some follow your dreams moment. So we're totally here for you, and we really admire you, and we're so happy that you joined us on the
Thank
show.
you.
Woo. So
Yeah.
typically we play a game at the end of every
Okay.
interview,
Okay.
but we know that games
Yeah.
are not your thing.
Yeah.
So we're gonna do get to know our new bestie and just ask you like some of your favorite things.
Okay.
It'll be fun.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Jason, do you want to go take the first one?
Yeah. Do you have so we were talking about arabesques earlier. Do you
Yes.
have a favorite ballet move, like something you like to show off to people?
I always like jumps.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You get high?
Yes, I have good jumps.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Pas de chat. Grand pas de
Yes, pas de
chat.
chat.
Yes.
I danced
I know.
a really long time ago. I did ballet. Like could not do it now, but I do know pas de chat.
Yeah,
Love
it's so
tap, yeah.
fun. It's so
Yeah.
fun.
Love it.
Okay, so do you have a favorite TV show? Something you binge, something you're like go to?
The Sex and City. It's always my favorite. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
It's
classic.
so good. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
classic.
Yeah.
It's good when you have those classics that are such good TV that you could just rewatch and rewatch and rewatch.
Yeah, and I love to just watch their fashion. It's
Yeah.
Ties
so
back
great.
into then your dance line. Look at
Yeah.
that. Look at that.
Mhm.
What's your favorite thing to do on your day off in New York City?
Oh, I I love to go to museums and watch shows. Actually,
See other shows.
Wow.
the other shows I see a lot of Broadway shows, Broadway shows, ballets, New York City Ballet, ABT,
Oh, nice.
or modern modern companies, contemporary companies. I see all kinds of shows, and I love museums. No matter it's more classical like Met or I love like the Shed.
I
Oh, the
love
Shed
the
is so
Shed.
Oh my gosh.
The Shed is such a good space.
Yes, great
It's
experience
such a
there.
good
Yeah.
space. Yeah. It's so cool.
Mhm.
Okay. What's your favorite place to eat in New York City?
A lot of places. Well,
Right?
there's no like such a favorite place. Because I always love, a lot of new places or a lot of trendy places. You just
Mhm.
want to try everything.
Are you a
Yeah.
foodie?
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like I was like, I don't think I could choose either. I love too many foods.
Mhm.
I do,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
Love that. Favorite color?
Pink. Yeah, without thoughts, pink.
That was
Yeah.
quick. That was quick. No,
No,
didn't even
yeah.
take a beat. Your favorite drink of choice?
Oh, what kind of drink?
Anything,
you
coffee,
mean-
wine, whatever's your favorite like drink of choice. You can give a couple if you want. There's no rules.
I like tea. Well, for like alcohol, I like pina colada.
Oh yes, me
Yeah.
too.
It's so good, especially
Love-
today. Today's gonna be like 98 degrees.
Yeah, yeah.
This is like a perfect pina colada day.
Yeah.
Just cool
Yeah,
you right
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
I love a frozen blended beverage.
Drama.
You have a favorite Phantom character in the show?
favorite.
That's a tough one.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
a tough one. Because obviously I like my role.
Yes.
Besides my role, I would say something. I would say Chalumeau. And that's the only role. It's in the show, but no one's playing it.
Oh, why?
They just
I've never seen
mentioned that it's the writer of Hannibal.
Oh.
And then they've mentioned about Chalumeau, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
then
Yeah.
Chalumeau was not on stage. I named my cat Chalumeau.
That's so
when
cute.
I joined the show in January, and then I got a cat on street, and then it happened to, meant to be my cat.
Yeah.
And then I just named my cat after Chalumeau. It's called Momo.
Oh,
That is so freaking cute.
that is so cute. I love cats.
Yeah, I love cats.
Do you have a favorite New York City neighborhood?
That's a hard question too, because I love a lot of places. I love. I don't know.
It's a hard question.
Skip. Yeah, it's too
Yeah,
hard.
it's for example, which part is
Woodboro.
which neighborhood is your favorite?
Oh, me? I think I would say Hell's Kitchen. I live in Hell's
Okay.
Kitchen. I feel like a lot of my favorite spots are in Hell's Kitchen. A lot of my friends live here. I can walk to the theater. So that's what I would say.
Chelsea or Astoria. I love Astoria. Queens, and then Chelsea if I'm going to be in Manhattan.
Yeah. Yeah.
Chelsea's a good one.
Yeah, I still can't pick one. Even you have
Yep.
You can be very
example.
diplomatic. You can
Yeah.
be diplomatic and say all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like all
the whole
different-
islands.
Yeah, whole New York.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite candy?
Chocolate.
Okay, chocolate.
Yeah, and my favorite salad is chocolate too.
Yeah.
That was funny. Do you have a favorite movie?
That movie called Emily, the French movie.
Oh, Amelie.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was a Broadway
Yeah.
show for a moment as well.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my favorite movie because she's so quirky, and I feel like I'm her.
Oh, I love that.
I haven't seen it. I guess now I have to check it out. Now you've
Yeah, it's so
inspired me.
cute. It's really cute. Yeah.
All right, we got favorite actress.
Natalie Portman.
Yes.
Speaking of Black Swan,
Yeah.
she is amazing.
Yeah.
Do you have a favorite night out in the city? If your dream night out, what does that look like?
I watch a ballet and have a drink at a rooftop bar after that.
Ooh, a rooftop
Invite me,
bar.
please.
Yeah. We'll meet you there, and then we'll
Yeah.
have some chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last one, because I know you have a show. You have a show today. 2 shows today.
Yes.
Do you have a favorite dancer?
Favorite dancer?
Yeah.
Mariana Nunes from Royal Ballet.
Oh,
That was
was a quick one. You had, yeah,
Really
you
quick
had
and
that.
neat.
Yeah.
just like Pink.
Yeah. Also, she wear one of my leotards, and back in 2018, she wore my design leotards on the cover of Dance Magazine.
Whoa, that's huge.
amazing.
Yeah, that was a dream come true because she's my favorite dancer, and yeah.
Wow.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Thank you.
Wow. Congratulations.
Thanks.
You're iconic.
Oh,
You're
thank you.
Actually.
Well, Xiaoxiao, it was wonderful to chat with you. Before we go, can you tell people about your social media, where they can find you, where they can support you, your website for your dance wear? And we'll also
Yes.
put it in the show notes. But
Yes. So my personal Instagram is Xiaoxiao Cao 46, and my do I have to spell or it's fine?
no, we'll
Or-
put a little graphic. We'll put
okay. And my design account is Xiaoxiao Designs on Instagram,
Love that.
and my website called xiaoxiaonyc.com.
Yes. Yeah, I'll probably put right here. I'll probably
Yes.
put it right there.
Yes, thank you.
I love that. Oh, and if you're a Xiaoxiao fan that just found us today, you can follow us at Survival Dolls Pod on Instagram and Twitter, and Survival Dolls Podcast on Facebook. You can follow Sammy Toots over there on Instagram, and well, you don't really tweet, Sammy Toots. You gotta get on that tweet. That Twitter.
I know, you gotta help me. I don't tweet, I don't talk. I don't tweet, I don't talk.
She's Sammy at Sammy Toots, and I am at Jason A. Coombs on all the things.
Yay!
Yeah.
Thank
This was
you so
amazing.
much.
Thank you.
I'm so happy to get to know you. That was amazing.
Yeah, I'm
Thank you for
very
your
happy.
time. Yeah.
We'll have to come see you in the show.
Yes,
Jason. We'll have
welcome.
to go see
Welcome.
Phantom. One
I
of
know.
my
I've
favorites.
never seen it. It's the longest running. I've never seen it.
Oh
Only
my
seen
Oh,
the
God.
movie.
Jason.
I
Did
know.
you just hear me gasp? We're going.
Yeah.
We're going.
Welcome.
Done.
Welcome.
We'll see
Yeah.
you there. Thank
Yeah.
you. Have a great two-show
Thank
day.
you.